Hi, folks. So I'm sorry if I sounded excessively angry. I'm trying to understand the culture from which I sprang. There is a lot of anger in rural American society. Doesn't really have much to do with lynching. I mean, if it does, then I have no idea. Because black people, they do appear around here. I'm very surprised because when I was younger, boy, if you showed your black face in town, you'd be in trouble. Like, you don't want to be here after sunset. That's the way it was. I mean, but there was a black man that lived in our trailer park, so maybe it was a lot of bluster. I don't know of any lynching that occurred here in this vicinity. But nonetheless, there seems to be a great deal of underlying rage. I mean, you but the thing is, folks, and that's the thing that I take issue with it. Like, you have, your phantom lynched person. I'm the person who actually suffered. I'm actually the person who suffered from people's underlying rage. I love the Amish community. It wasn't everything that I wanted it to be. And I'm mad. I'm taking out. I mean, honestly, folks, just terrible stuff. A friend came up to me in eighth grade. We were walking to school. She said my brother raped me. Oh. And then the boy who took me to my junior prom said my brother raped my sister. I guess the girl must have said that her father committed suicide in the garage with carbon monoxide. I think that's what. Her name was Jay, and her brother took me to the prom. My dad committed suicide in the garage, she said. I didn't know. Like, I'm getting it all confused with the dysfunction. Like, a little girl doesn't need to hear this stuff. A little girl in the eighth grade doesn't need to hear, like, oh yeah, my dad committed suicide in the garage with carbon monoxide. When I was such an innocent, comparatively speaking. Why did I need to know about any of this stuff? And the guy who took me to prom junior year said, my brother raped my sister. It's like such a heavy, it never even occurred to me to go to the police or even to tell my parents. No, I mean, I think times are different. We would say something, and I kept it. It's like, it's a burden on my conscience. Like, when I was molested, like, I told my parents. Of course, I told my parents when I was molested. Nothing was ever done. Just avoid those people from now on. Well, they needed treatment, like, why would they? Of course, because they saw. I'm angry. I'm still angry to this day that my parents didn't do anything. And they didn't care. I think they thought that it was my fault because I was too cute or too sexy as a 6-year-old or something. 6 or 7. Like, what did I do? All right, folks. I see the recorder button is still going. People in the 50s and the 60s, like, oh, we're so great and we're so wonderful. Like, why can't you be just like us? I don't know why I can't be just like you. The boozing generation. Like, I heard that your uncle French kissed you. It's like, that is effing weird. Like, if my uncle French kissed me, you'd better believe there'd be a police report filed. But it didn't happen, so I'm supposed to take anything that happens to me. What am I, the sacrificial lamb? I'm really wondering what the heck is wrong with the people in my family. Like, what the heck? Like, the times. And it's so odd and it is so strange, folks. And I will tell you another anecdote. And you'll know it's authentic. Because I just don't make stuff up. Like, I don't have the imagination necessary. I was riding the school bus in Amish country to an elementary school. I believe it was Millersburg. And there was an older guy. He was kind of slow, kind of retarded, and he just kind of took a liking to me. I never felt threatened by him whatsoever. I don't know why my mother said anything. I don't know how she caught wind of it. She was just a weird person. I don't know what she was smoking at the time. But she said, well, I'm going to file charges of gross sexual imposition. Mother, my own classmates sexually molested me in the woods next to our house, and you're concerned about some retarded guy that likes me on the school bus? Like, F you. It's like, what kind of a hypocrite? That's the way she was, though. That guy never did me a lick of harm. And she was basically going to a lawyer saying, I'm going to file charges of gross sexual imposition. Why? Because your uncle French kissed you and your family never... This person on the bus, he was like a mentally retarded kid. He's a little bit older. He's like 15 and he liked me. He wanted to be my friend. I never felt threatened. Wow. My childhood was really... The 1970s were a horrible time for little girls to grow up. Like, I had to be like this female jock, and I don't know. I really don't know what went wrong. Kramer versus Kramer, you know that. I read the whole book. Meryl Streep was part of that. Who knows where she is these days? Probably in an old folks' home, playing Paisley Woods. You know, I mean, fine, you know, like, my God, what have you done to our culture? What did you do to my family to make my mom have an affair with a guy at a juvenile delinquent institution? You can't even make this crap up. You can't possibly make this crap up. Like, I trusted everything. Mom was taking me to the Catholic Church every Sunday. It's like, I even went to Sunday school once or twice, you know, when I was allowed to. Oh, now, I don't want to blame Mom. Dad bears as much responsibility for the breakdown of the marriage as my mother does. Because he rejected religion, he rejected God, he rejected Jesus. I understand that. But it doesn't make it, I still kind of slant toward blaming my mom. But not really, because I feel like she was a vulnerable person. You know, I can feel her pain, you know, in a way. The 1970s, we can point to a particular decade in America where things started to go awry. But I think from day one, the clock was ticking on America. Things were going to collapse. People came from different countries bringing their traditions. People from Mexico, they have their traditions. And I don't think that America is supposed to be, I think America is kind of an Anglo-Saxon place, you know, like where we really respect the God of the Bible and we're not overly Catholic. My mother was Catholic and she wore a mantilla and I loved the mantilla. I used to love to put that black lace on my head. I loved the smell of that mantilla. I loved the smell of that top drawer where the lace was kept. The Catholic Church didn't save me. My belief in Jesus Christ saved me. Now what's going to save us? as a country. We see these maniacs escaping from across the border. You know, there's a reason why there was always like gosh darn it. There used to be a border. You got to keep the cretins away from, you know, no longer will this, you know, this beautiful country, which, you know, we're all scrapping here. We're all striving. We're all kept down like little pups, like, know your place in society. You're not good. You're not good enough. Having lived 51 years, I know that I'm not good enough. But gosh darn it, what the heck is happening here? You were so busy telling me that I wasn't good enough that you're letting the worst in. That's on you. That's on your head.